Hello and welcome to a new video. Well, today I thought what I'd do is talk about what online students actually want when it comes down to English lessons. Now, I've been teaching hundreds of online students now for the past few years, I guess, since the pandemic hit, and there's one common theme that's been occurring over the past few years, I suppose. And the thing that I've noticed that students really want is regular vocabulary and spoken feedback. Now, feedback is one of those things that you can either incorporate whilst the student is speaking or after the student is speaking. If the student is in mid-flow, then I tend to try and avoid interrupting the student during their conversation. And I regard that as quite important. But what I do whilst they are speaking is that I actually take notes of what they're saying, both good and maybe poor language. And what I mean by good language is grammatically correct constructions, and poor language would be incorrect grammar structures. It's important to share a balance of both good and maybe language that needs improving. I wouldn't say bad to students because you don't want them to cry. So I would say what you were saying here is fantastic, very good, keep going. And I would say this sentence is great, but if you want to sound more natural, how about you say it like this? For example, a student could say, I would like to start running. Okay, perfectly grammatical sentence, but you could give them just a little bit more language to make them sound a bit more natural. So you could say, great sentence, but in English we say take up, a phrasal verb which is very common in spoken language. So say, good sentence, but try saying, I'd like to take up running, instead of I would like to start running. In regards to that, the student would be a lot more grateful, because one thing that I've noticed and one thing that students have been telling me over the past few years is that teachers that they've had have been rather passive. So a teacher would ask them a question, student would answer, and the teacher would generally just say, yeah, that's good, well done, improvement here. It wouldn't be critical, it wouldn't give that student particular feedback or areas that they could improve upon. So it's very important that teachers take an active role in what the student is actually saying and how they could improve upon it. So rather than being passive and just listening to what the student is saying, try and take an active role and say, okay, this is good, but try to do this next time. And students will be a lot more grateful for that. It's exactly what students, particularly online students, expect from their tutors. And the thing is, when you're teaching face-to-face, yes, you have a group of students, you can develop the language as a group, but when you're online and it's one-to-one, there's more focus and onus on the teacher to provide feedback based on productive skills, either speaking or writing. Now, when it comes down to grammatical mistakes, one thing that I would recommend is for teachers to try and incorporate some level of development. And the good thing is about with grammatical mistakes is it just shows key weaknesses within the student. So you could use that information to cover certain language in future lessons. So it's a great tool to see and grade your lessons appropriately for the students, and you're responding to student needs and requirements. Now, another short video, and I really do hope that you appreciate today's video. If you do, hit that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in a future video. Take care, stay safe, and happy teaching. Bye bye.